My name is Akaose Ugbo, and welcome back to the Daisy Dispatch. Every year, a few Bryn Mawr students who have shown exceptional dedication to community service receive the Elizabeth H. Broadus Community Service Project Award. This award provides funding for the students' project and helps them to further their work and make a greater impact. Much of the Bryn Mawr community has heard of the Broadus Award. However, we don't often hear about the specifics of the award or how it began. Today, we will delve deeper into the Broadus Award, discovering its significance on our community and how it reflects Bryn Mawr's emphasis on community service.
Yes, so my community service project is called Acora. It's a Latin organization through the Pieta Institute that supports education for elementary and middle school students who don't have access to classics programs. I started kind of working on this between the summer of freshman and sophomore year, and it's developed into now like a real program. I started teaching fall of my junior year, and it's had a really big impact on the school that I teach at Govins Elementary. Students have developed better reading skills, better comprehension skills. Areas like other academic subjects have improved that I've seen, and students generally really love it. As somebody who's been interested in the classics since elementary school, it's great to see myself reflected through students who are equally as excited as I was at that age. I really wanted to make classics more accessible. Bryn Mawr is really fortunate to have Latin in middle school, and we're lucky as high schoolers to have the ability to go to Gilman and take Latin. But there are a lot of schools that don't have that opportunity. So there are a lot of schools that are cutting their classics programs and getting rid of Latin. I really wanted to bring it back and make it bigger and more accessible because it's so impactful and it really helps with a lot of different skill sets.
I was looking for a place that had to do with immigration, international relations, social justice, and I really wanted to work with others. And so I scheduled a meeting with Ms. Budzik, and she helped me find the Refugee Youth Project. I would go in and I would work with student refugees on teaching them conversational English, on teaching them math, or just playing sports with them during their breaks, during recess. I got to spend a lot of time with such inspirational kids with very unique backgrounds and help them integrate into Baltimore and join the larger Baltimore community. My family immigrated from Egypt to Baltimore in 1999 for educational purposes. My parents left their family and their friends and everything they've ever known in Egypt in order to come to the U.S. to create a better lives for my two other sisters and I. That experience was very challenging and at times can increase feelings of isolation and ostracization. And so what I was able to do was recognize how important it is to ensure that all people living in Baltimore feel a sense of community and they feel a sense of belonging to the Baltimore community. Being able to work with other families who are seeking refuge from their countries for economic, social, political reasons, and are seeking refuge in the U.S. and empathize better with them, as I am very familiar to the feelings and the experiences that they're going through.
So I worked with the organization Itinerus, which is located in Baltimore City, and it serves adults on the autism spectrum. I spent a lot of my time assisting them in the art studio and in the greenhouse, leading therapeutic activities. I began my community service actually serving a team of special needs children called the Baltimore Saints Special Hockey Team. And I fell in love with volunteering and with that community of people. And I knew I wanted to continue serving people on the spectrum, but more specifically, adults on the autism spectrum. When I began volunteering at Itinerus over the summer, I had a very laid out, organized schedule for what I was going to do there. And I thought, on Monday I'll do this, and on Tuesday I'll do that. But as time went on, I realized not everything goes as planned, especially when you're working with this community of adults on the spectrum. And so you have to think on your feet. During my application process of applying for the Broadus Award, my nephew, who was 3 years old at the time, was actually diagnosed with autism, which it just made me realize like I started serving this community of people for a reason, and I have to continue with it.
So the Broadus Community Service Projects were started by the Broadus family in honor of Toby Broadus's mother, Elizabeth Broadus. She was a very dedicated Bryn Mawr parent and volunteer, as well as dedicated to the city of Baltimore. And these projects bring together both of those things. They encourage Bryn Mawr students to get involved in the city of Baltimore and making it a better place. Community service is an essential part of being a Bryn Mawr student, and the Broadus Community Service Projects encourage students who are already engaged in some aspect of volunteerism and encourages them to take a step further, a step deeper. And it's a tremendous opportunity both for the student and for the organization.
My junior year was all self-funded. I have a jewelry business that I use the funds to buy textbooks and to fund activities, but the summer was a lot more work and a lot more materials required. The Broadus Award helped to provide materials for students, so activities and textbooks for 4th and 5th graders at Govans for the summer.
As I continued to volunteer with the Refugee Youth Project, I developed a sense of love for the students, and I wanted to continue and grow my work. And that's why the Broadus Community Service Award had been such an amazing help, as it gave me the opportunity to continue working with the kids that I fostered relationships with, and continue trying to support them in every manner that I could. It helped create more STEM classes into the curriculum, so the students were able to explore different fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as well as helping facilitate yoga classes, which I even got to lead one of them, which allowed the students to learn breathing techniques and different techniques that they could turn to whenever they begin to feel overwhelmed, as many of the students have gone through very traumatic experiences, and it's better to teach them good ways of good coping mechanisms so that they don't feel like they have to internalize everything.
The Broadus Award provided me with $1,500 and Itinerus with $3,500, which was a great sum of money, and it helped buy the gardening supplies that it would take to completely transform the garden, which was very helpful, some art supplies as well. And so that's sort of the financial aspect of how the Broadus Award funded my project, but it also just motivated me, like thinking the Broadus committee saw the value in my project, and I know that I need to just push myself through it, even though some days were harder than others. I just need to get up and show up for the clients at Itinerus and make sure that I am making a change in those that I've chosen to serve.
These projects allow students to get more involved with an organization, to address an issue or a project that they see a real need for.
At the beginning of freshman year, when I found out that we would have a 50-hour requirement of service hours, I won't say I dreaded it, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. And as I have began my community service, continued it all the way through the Broadus, I've realized that serving others, especially those in need, is such an important thing, especially for myself. It is such a privilege to go to a school like Bryn Mawr. It is such a blessing, and I think that everyone should do community service if they have the time or the means to do so, but especially people like myself who are so blessed to go to an amazing school like Bryn Mawr.
This award has been funded by an endowment given by the Broadus family since it began in 2003, giving financial support for students' projects to have a greater impact. The Broadus Award has helped encourage students to reach out to their community and find causes that they're truly passionate about, proving itself to be an integral part of Bryn Community Service Program.